Pokemon called the police again.
Oh,
Okay.
Pokemon podcast. What?
Okay, yeah, can we just start the podcast now? Stop talking about my...
What's
That's
poppin'?
entirely up to you. You gotta hit the button.
I already hit the
Wait.
button 3 minutes ago.
Oh, word.
Podcast. Okay, podcast. So it's going to be great. This is the first episode of the podcast officially where we are recording it before I release the last episode.
God damn it.
Listen, okay, my life has been extremely busy. Unbearably. And I decided to stream Dark Souls for a whole day instead of getting getting that episode of the podcast out. So
And this is why we say he doesn't love us, people.
So yeah, let's start talking about the topics for today. There's so much fun things we could talk about. Like everyone's favorite disappointment. Actually, you know what? Let's just start it with this. This podcast is going to be the podcast of disappointments. I feel like that's going to be the trend today, right? Like pretty much everything we have to talk about is something extremely disappointing. I've realized, like after mine is like maybe Lost Judgment. But I don't even then I don't know. I saw that gameplay trailer and I was like, it's Yakuza. Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold up. Wait, no. I don't know, Chief. You've never played all the Yakuza games, including all the spin-offs.
Okay, the one thing I do have as a bit of a gripe, but I mean I can play it with the Japanese voices, was like one of the things I appreciate. I was recently playing Lost Dragon. Or sorry, Lost Dragon. Oh my god. Like a Dragon, not Lost Dragon. Lost Judgment, Like a Dragon. Mix the two up.
The collab.
Yeah. I was recently playing Like a Dragon.
Dragon Kiwami.
And I appreciated that the lip syncing actually matched with the English voice acting in that game. Probably because they took some time to actually CGI the people's mouths or something, or maybe they did the mocap for it too. But I noticed in the Lost Judgment trailer that it was not synced up at all. And maybe it was because it wasn't synced up and my brain was just thinking of the disconnect, or maybe it's just the quality of the voice acting wasn't there, but it felt worse. Like the English voice acting just kind of felt like, it doesn't really seem good. And if you're a traditional Yakuza fan, I don't know why you would play without the Japanese voices. Especially if it's like doesn't match up and it doesn't seem like the people who are saying the words are actually saying them. Like I don't know. I guess one of the things that most people will pretend like Japanese voice acting or any voice acting that isn't English, if it's dubbed or subbed rather, would be markedly better in the original language that it was in versus English. But I think for the most part, it's just people are like, hey, I can't tell if this is bad voice acting in another language, so I'm just gonna play it here in the original language it was intended for. But yeah, I don't know. It seemed weird. I don't know. That's probably the one complaint.
That's your nitpick?
That's my one nitpick. I mean, honestly.
That's your nitpick.
But I mean, like the game.
That's something I expected from Tyler, not you, Zach. I expected better.
But I mean, but like the game looked good. I mean, it you saw the over the top Yakuza shit. You saw him body slam people. You saw him, do some skateboard.
Dog.
You saw him team up with a dog.
Walk.
You saw him get on a skateboard, do some dance moves, get some of his boxing in, do some sock'em robots.
Oh wait, that dancing was revolutionary. I don't care what anyone says. First we had the singing, the bass karaoke, and now we have the dancing.
At least from what I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you said it from what I've seen, and then you stopped.
From what I've seen from it, like it looks a lot like there's going to be a lot slower moments. Like in Yakuza, like there's a lot of things you can do. This game looks, from what it looks like in the trailer, there's a lot of things you can do, but it just seems like a lot of times where it's just going to be like, hey, stand here and investigate this thing for a whole 30 minutes.
I mean,
or,
yeah, it's like a
hey,
it's a crime noir
climb these pipe things. Like it's like a I mean, it's like the first one was like you're investigating stuff. So sit there and investigate. I don't know. It's just I'm not getting it. That's what I'm gonna say. It's nah, nah, nah.
Yeah, it's a crime noir game, so I mean, I'm not super
They could have
surprised.
just made another Yakuza game instead of that.
But it is another Yakuza game, you uncultured swine.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the point, though, right? Because they're shifting their gears a bit. So they have the Yakuza series, like the mainline games, now turning into RPGs, like turn-based RPGs. Now that Ichiban is the main character, and then
Ichiban.
yeah, and then the side series, which is Judgment and now Lost Judgment, is going to be kind of retaining that original Yakuza style gameplay and formula, only putting it under its umbrella, which I mean, now I understand that fully, and I think I appreciate it because I like when series evolve in certain ways, especially since it's a little weird that Yakuza is going from, an action combat series to a turn-based RPG, which seems to be the opposite of trends of what like most modern games tend to do, right? Like it seems like most games that are either like old reboots of old games or like series that have long been going, um, are shifting into like from turn-based to real-time action, stuff like Final Fantasy, stuff like now Dragon Quest even. So I mean, I appreciate that they're taking that risk because I felt like honestly Yakuza Like a Dragon's combat was one of my favorite parts of that game from what I've played of it, and it's probably why I've played more of it than I have any other Yakuza game at this point, because it's like I just felt like it was fun. I felt like it was gratifying, and it kind of meshed together the goofy shit that's in the other games with the main combat system. Where like I feel like there's some of that goofy shit in the original, Yakuza games where you're throwing chairs at people and you're suplexing motherfuckers and yeah, you're doing over the top stuff. But I mean like really goofy stuff, like people hitting people with handbags and purses and Ishiban dancing on motherfuckers and
Don't forget the homing darts.
the homing darts or the pigeons, dude. My favorite
Oh, dude,
move.
the pigeons were the best. That was the best thing about the mage class was
Yeah.
the pigeons.
So I mean, like, I was like, that's what I appreciated about that is that like it was really quirky combat, um, which is definitely meshed the styles of Yakuza really well, like the gritty realness and the over the top like humorous moments. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't played Judgment yet. I still have to get through all the other Yakuza games,
No,
which
you don't. You really don't. Just play Judgment. You don't need it. You don't need to. They're not related.
I mean, I still need to play the other Yakuza games that I own, and then
I mean, yeah, you do. But like, that's a different story for a different time. Like, you play Judgment too. It's fine.
I mean, I'll get to them eventually for sure. I mean, I'm honestly thinking that after my Souls marathon, I'm probably gonna jump into the Yakuza games, but I don't know if I'm gonna do them in order. I might just like restart on Like a Dragon, play through that, and then work my way up again from the start from 0 to 6.
But you don't want to leave like a dragon for last because you know you're gonna enjoy it.
I just no, it's just because like I already have such an investment in that game that I'm ready to jump back into it. It's just a matter of like finding the time to and everything like that. So I mean I don't know. I want to get into that one first because that's the one that I have the most experience with, and it's different enough. And then maybe I'll be more interested in getting into the ones in the past because I'm sure there are things that tie into events that happened in the previous Yakuza games that maybe will have me like interested in saying, okay, I wonder how this played out, or I wonder what this, you know, what this is in relation to, and maybe playing them that way will make me have a better appreciation for it later on. I don't know. But yeah, I gotta get into those at some point. But it looks like a game. Looks pretty good. Can't really say I have much of an attachment to it personally. But Tom, you're the one who's a big fan of Judgment and Lost Judgment and Yakuza. What is your opinion on the gameplay footage from the State of Play?
It looked it looked like a Yakuza game. I don't really know how much more to elaborate. I mean, the new mini games are cool. Obviously, people are shitting their bricks over Yagami dancing because it's Yagami dance. This is Judgment's version of karaoke, which has been like the biggest hit thing to do in every Yakuza game ever because Bakumatai became a thing. But the platforming elements are they added or I don't know how they look okay, but I don't know how it's gonna feel because I feel like it's gonna break up the gameplay in a really awkward way, and like it's just it's this weird mixture of CSI, Phoenix Wright, and Yakuza, and like
LA Noir. I get that feel too.
a little bit, but you're not doing the thing where you press X to doubt because it's not a thing.
If they put that in the game, yeah, if they put that
Well,
in the
I
game,
played
that'd
the
be
first one. You
legendary.
didn't do it in the first one, so.
If they put that in Lost Judgment, though, that would be legendary.
That would be pretty hype. That would be pretty cool. I'd be down with it. Yeah, it seems like a Yakuza game, like a traditional Yakuza game, just as not a member of the Yakuza, like every Yakuza game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. It looks like a fun game. It's not Yakuza 3. I'll say that much.
Yeah,
Game age like fucking diarrhea.
That one really needed a Kiwami remake, but they just didn't do it.
Which I don't know if it's ever gonna fucking get, but who knows?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, maybe not for a few years, but definitely not.
I mean, yeah, probably not, because Kiwami 1 and 2 were pretty. People like those a lot,
Mhm.
and you know, the Yakuza series is like the new big thing for everyone to love if they're quirky. So
That's true. It's definitely rised in popularity a lot.
I just don't know if they're gonna do a Kiwami, if they're gonna keep the old gameplay, or if they're gonna change it. I don't think they would, but I don't know. They could. It'd be weird having Kiryu in turn-based gameplay. That'd be weird.
I feel like that'd be pretty funny.
I mean, I think it works well with Ichiban because Ichiban's a huge fucking nerd, man. He's not the same as Kiryu. Kiryu's just this stoic dude who's just really awkward and has shit happen to him, whereas Ichiban's just a dude who's a big weeb. Yeah, he's a big hairy weeb nerd.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things about Yakuza Like a Dragon's cast that I guess really got me more engaged with them was that they were a lot more colorful and again like over the top and weird than the typical like Yakuza cast. It seemed like most of the Yakuza cast was just like people in the Yakuza, right? Like people who, you know, sure you had connections and investment in their character, but like there's only so much you can do with a dude who's paid to shoot and beat the shit out of people, you know, like but like with Ichiban, like he's a weird motherfucker, and then you have like a washed up cop who lost his job like a month out from retirement, and then you have a homeless nurse dude, and then you have a woman who works, pretty much as a female bouncer.
You have a woman.
No, as like a female bouncer for like a strip club or some shit. Like I don't know, like something insane like that. So like the fact that like the cast of Like a Dragon was so eclectic and weird compared to other Yakuza games, from what it seemed like to me at least. I feel like there was a lot more to do with a turn-based system. You have a lot more moves to throw out and work from, especially with like the job system in that game. It's probably one of my favorite parts of it, to be honest with you. And I don't know, there's only really so much you can do with the established characters from before, like Kiryu. So
I mean, they've only done it with 8 goddamn games or so. So I mean, like it was. I think it was about time they deviated from the cast. But like, I think also having them be a party definitely adds more. It definitely helps you grow more attached. I mean, the other Yakuza games, it's just Kiryu, or Goro, or fucking Saejima, or whoever the hell the character you're playing. That there wasn't a party, so the only way you grew closer to these characters was playing as them and kind of learning about them as you play the game. Whereas having them be a party, having all these people be a party, you kind of just instantly gain attached to them because
you see their interactions with each other, and they kind of they have vehicles and ways to expout their their feelings and their thoughts onto other characters. Like one of my favorite scenes of Like a Dragon, honestly, like because in a way, even though it's goofy, it has this endearing charm to it. Like I loved that it really humanizes homelessness in a way, like because that's something that we see kind of demonized in a lot of ways. People look at homeless people like they're the scum of the earth, but in a lot of cases they're just people who need to rehabilitate themselves and maybe don't have the right avenues to, or maybe they're just they have troubles and they need to find a way to get themselves out of a rut. And one of my favorite parts of Like a Dragon was when Ichiban and oh my god, what's his name? The nurse dude, I don't remember his name.
Nanba.
Nanba, yes. Were in the top floor of the house from the strip club lady or the brothel lady, and they were just like lying on the floor, like just so happy to finally have a roof over their heads. And I was like, man, this is a really wholesome moment right here. And they're having a good conversation at the same time. I don't know, it's just like stuff like that. So, and you really couldn't get that type of moment out of like a previous Yakuza game, like where you have your party members engaging with each other.
I think you should play the games.
Okay, I'll play the games. I'll shut up and play the game.
He was like, "Well, hold up there, hold on."
You haven't played like any of the other games to even half.
Yeah. So Lost Judgment gonna be a game. But you guys have any highlights from the state of play? There's a couple things that I wanted to make note of, but I don't know if you guys
Deathloop sucked.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Like at least the way that he was playing, like just looking around everything, it's like it might just be that mission or just the trailer that they showed. It looks like a lot of times, like it's like, oh, you want to play stealth? Yeah, you can do that for 30% of the mission, maybe. Like it looks like a lot of times you're going to be just straight up, just in a straight up gunfight, and it's got like the Dark Souls invading mechanic.
So I mean, like I think Deathloop, I think it looks okay. I don't hate it. So see, I really like Dishonored. So
but that's just it. It looks like it tried to do Dishonored, but tried to do its own thing, and the own thing. That's what's iffy.
It's so boring.
It's mixing together a lot of different elements of games right now that are like really popular to do. It's like doing a roguelike thing. Almost like Returnal style, where you're reliving the same day over and over again. Like a lot of games are doing that now, where it's like a Groundhog Day thing. It's doing like a Dark Souls, kind of like the dude picks up his like previous weapons that are sitting there from his last run, and you have an invasion mechanic from Dark Souls like that too. There's also
I could see that just getting just like fucking annoying. Like if the game's been out for a year. And then you pick up the game, and then somebody who's played it for an entire year invades your game and knows all the little cheat spots and where to get the best weapons. Like, that's not fun for the player. Like, if it's somebody who's like on equal or just,
and that's why you play offline, baby. Take that Ethernet out of your computer.
Didn't they say for that game you have to be online?
No, you don't have to be online, because an AI controlled character can invade your world.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's just if nobody invades. Like if somebody's waiting to invade, then they'll invade. But if somebody's not, then they'll just do an AI. But I don't know. I don't know. It's like they didn't really go into like the abilities.
Yeah, that's something I was.
He just seems like this is the first person you go after. I'm like, okay, it's first person you go after. Why you got like 4 or 5 abilities already, and it's the first guy you go after? Like, if they just give you all of them from the beginning, and you can upgrade them little by little, it's just like...
Oh my god, you're right, Deathloop isn't offline? Oh, that's a big red flag. Fuck that shit.
Is it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
It's always going to have to be online to play it.
All I'm saying is, it looks like a first-person shooter version of a fucking Dark Souls game, and that shit sounds ass.
I mean, it doesn't.
That sounds boring.
It's definitely
boring.
I don't think that's kind of a reductive way to look at it. I mean, it has Dark Souls like elements for sure, but it's not really a Dark Souls game. Again,
No,
I
but
think it's
okay, maybe
Well, it's not Dark Souls game, but like to pick.
I mean, yeah, it's closer to Returnal,
Like
but
Returnal, but just first person.
But I mean, like for the Souls games, one of the big things was like if you die, you could go to where your stuff was and pick your souls or echoes back up.
Yeah.
And invasions, like those were if you die, you have to go through. Those are the big things for it.
Yeah,
so
but I mean, like
to say it's not like a Souls game.
Well,
like,
no,
those are the
it
big
has
parts of a Souls game.
I didn't say that. I said it has Souls elements.
Yeah, no,
but
it
it's
has
not,
like Souls-like elements.
But it's not a Souls-like game. It's completely like again, it draws a lot of inspirations from many different types of games that are being released at the moment. Some roguelikes, some Souls-likes, some like stuff like Dishonored, like Prey. I see a little bit of Control in there too. Like all of these like different avenues of games are definitely being. And there were some others that I saw in the state of play, but I can't remember off the top of my head that I was like,
I'm saying is this sounds like a review of Biomutant all of a sudden.
I mean, maybe it won't be good. I think it'll be okay. Like I don't think it'll be a horrible game. I might enjoy it personally, but
I can definitely see after a week of the game being out, somebody speedrunning the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. But that's like every game, man. Someone fucking starts speedrunning a game like 2 days after it comes out.
But like I don't like that whole the game's only online thing. That's really fucking shit to me, dude. Because like it just means that the second that like because if the game isn't that successful, right? Say it's actually like a fucking a Battleborn situation, right?
Oh.
Say the game actually ends up being fun. This is hypothetical, right? It actually ends up being fun. People enjoy it, but it doesn't sell well, and people forget about it. Then, like, what the fuck is gonna happen if they shut off the servers like 2 years from now when people still want to play it? Like, when people still want to try to enjoy their time with it. Then, this once, almost like, what's the term I'm looking for? Like, completely I was gonna say like completely single player experience that you can realistically play in the comfort of your own home without any other person would just be gone forever. Like I don't know, like, and I feel like that's something I hate about digital like media and things that are DRM'd and things that are like you only have access to it online like that, even if it is single player. Because like I don't know. I'm like, especially nowadays, I don't have all the time in the world to play a lot of these games that are coming out. Some of them I'll have on my radar, and then I'll pick them up, and then I won't play them for a while. Like the good examples with the Souls marathon I'm doing right now. I have had all of these or most of these Souls games for a very long time, and I have not decided to touch them at all until now when I have the time and I felt like I really wanted to delve into them. But like. If it were to happen where like 3 years from now I was like, maybe I'll give that Deathloop game a try, and the servers are shut down and I can't fucking play it, then like what's the point of the game, like of owning the game? Like I don't like you gotta play it right when it's out, and if you don't play it right then bye fuckers, your copy is pretty much just kaput. Like, oh, that's nice.
He literally bought a brick.
Literally bought a brick, dude. Like that shit's
a Minecraft brick.
that shit's just like I don't know. I fear for the day that like the Destiny servers get shut off, dude. Because then that shit, like people don't think about it now, and they don't really care that much about it now. But like the second that they shut off Destiny 1 servers, there's going to be fucking riots. And I mean, I don't know how soon or how late that's gonna be. I don't know, dude. Like Bungie could go out of business any second now. And if it happens, well, fuck. Well, fuck, dude. Those kids are gonna be so mad.
They should have just not released Destiny 2 and made Destiny a continuous, ongoing thing. I don't understand.
I think it was a little too.
They wanted to copy paste.
It's their
and then charge you full price again for it.
But like you could just keep giving out content and have like the as much as I hate free to play games, the free to play motto is it's good because it gives you time to get invested into the game, and if you like the product, you can pay for the product as opposed to having to just flat out pay for a product before you even know if you like it.
Yeah, so a lot of those free to play games, they have competitive aspects where it's like, oh no, it's not pay to win, but when you look at it, it's like, yeah, the fuck it is.
Like
And then you just lose your feeling for it.
Can we debunk this whole bullshit? Like, oh, the microtransactions aren't a big deal if they don't impact gameplay. Like, fuck that. Like, that's such a stupid like
this.
Argument.
That's exactly with like if you're saying like cosmetic stuff and Call of Duty.
Like even then, right? Because like it's not about it's not necessarily about like for me at least, right? It's not about whether or not it impacts your gameplay. Like, you get a better gun, it's pay to win, anything like that with microtransactions. The thing that bugs the fuck out of me with microtransactions is that these are elements of video games that were free and unlockable at one point. You could use them as customizable options for your character, make yourself, really stand out in one way, shape, or form. And some games even let you still do that without DLC. One of the best games. Well, I mean, a lot of those outfits are kind of DLC, but because if you buy the full complete edition, I don't know, fucking Borderlands 2. Like, you have so many fucking outfits and shit you can pick from, many of which are unlockable for doing things in the video game, right? You fight bosses, they drop the skins, doing challenges, you get the skins, stuff like that.
You get them randomly off of enemies because of RNG.
But games now will be like, that stuff that you really wanted to unlock by playing our game, things that were incentives
$10
for you to play our game on your own time, things that were progression based, you got to pay $10, $20, $15 to unlock them. It's like, okay,
$40 for blue.
Oh my god, dude.
Bro.
Like to me, it's just lazy shit. It's like, yeah, sure, it's not necessarily impacting someone's gameplay, but you're still taking out content from a fully priced game that people already spent their money on and are spending their time on, and you're making them spend more money in order to access these things again. It's fucking stupid, it's greedy, and it's like, get your heads out your asses.
A lot of those games that have like all of those microtransactions for all that shit will put in more work into making more microtransactions,
fixing the goddamn game.
Then actually fixing their game.
Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War. Where are you, Desert David? Where are you? Your game is dying. There's cheaters in Warzone. No one wants to play your game. Your community's in shambles. The subreddit's banning itself. Get your shit together and stop putting Rambo skins out there. Boring.
But then there's like one of the skins, the Rose skin in Warzone. Is like, oh, it's just a cosmetic. Oh, anybody can get it. Oh, it adds nothing to the game. It's like, oh, really? Because when the skin first came out, if you were in a dark part of the map, if you were up in a corner, and you had just base guns, players literally couldn't see you. It might take them an extra second to see you, but that extra second would mean you're dead. And then they just patched it to the point where if you're standing in like a certain dark spot, your character still being black, you light up gray.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
people have found other spots on the map where it's like, oh, this is a shaded spot, so your character turns gray, but the background is gray, and that's in so many spots of the map. And they've been saying it since like season 2. I don't know what season they're on now. Or they've been saying it for a long time. But it's like, oh yeah, it's like we'll get on that. But hey, here's our new microtransaction outfit gun, and the gun has all the attachments, which is the new meta because we buffed it, but didn't tell anybody. It's like, but you want me to pay money for that, but you're not going to fix your shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't. And then you got games like Genshin Impact, where it's like you can earn all this stuff. Like if you can earn all the outfits, not outfits, all the characters, all the weapons.
Unless you want to spend 500 hours playing the goddamn game.
Yes. And it's not even just 500 hours, because you can sit down and play the game. It's not even like just running through. Like you have to do daily activities, weekly activities, and then you have to log in every day. And then after, like, say join in and you play the game for 2 hours and you do all the daily activities and you got your daily. There's no point in playing it if you're looking to get any cosmetic stuff because you can't gain that currency any other way. So then you got to come in tomorrow, do the daily quest and the login, and then you got to do it again. And that could take 3 months for you to get a chest that gives you 1. Or you could just throw in 20, 40, 50, 2,000. I know there's a dude that spent $2,000 on it to get one of the lolly characters. And it's just that's a game that's like, okay, so you want me to pay money? Like, I know it's not I don't think there's PvP in it, but you want me to pay money for a character that makes the game easier, or you want me to pay money to get a character that I've seen nothing about just to find out I get this character and the character sucks. The character's the worst in the game, but you advertise it as the best.
It's so much worse when it's in a single player game because there's actually legitimately no reason to put a paywall in a single player game. Not at all.
Because you're already paying the $60, and it's a single player experience where there's very little interaction you're going to be having with like the outside world or anything like that. So like you're just playing through the game, and then if you want to unlock something, or if there's microtransactions for anything, or there are like character skins, or gun skins, or unlockable weapons, or just anything like that, it's like, yeah, you have to give them more of your money for something that should have already been in a fully priced game. Like, I get that people are stupid and will buy this shit, if you rip it out of the game and sell it separately. But it's just like, I'm so fucking sick and done with it, dude. Like, it's because it's very obvious and blatant that they didn't do this shit in the past, but they're doing it now because they can, and they can get away with it. And that's just
I think it's because like when the sports games came out, then you got to actually make your own team. Like, actually make your own team, not like handpick little bit. Tom's like, it's like,
listen, dude,
I know this.
It's
like when you got to make your own teams and everything. But it's like, hey, we need to get a currency. So at first, you could play games and you get currency. Maybe you need to do some things, or maybe you have to win something. Like maybe you have to complete a season undefeated, and then you got this character who's got the best stats in the game. Now it's like, oh yeah, you can do this, and then you could, if you win your season undefeated, you get this many points. That gets you this pack.
You know what the fuck they do now? You know what the fuck they do now? They hide everything behind a premium currency, and it's all odds-based packs. So you know what you do? You have to buy premium currency, so that way you get access to buying these packs. You can use your in-game currency, but it's like 4 times the amount of regular currency. So it's like, oh, well, I'll just buy the fucking premium currency, so that way I don't have to use my actual currency. And then fucking, as opposed to giving you the whatever player you're looking for, it is like a 1, and I don't know who did the math on this. I don't know if this is an exact number. It's like a 1 in 1.3 million odds to get whatever players on the cover of whatever pack you're getting. It's fucking scum. And you know what? I'm fuck 2K. 2K is the reason we're all in this fucking situation.
2K, like 2K. That's the little reason microtransactions are so big now. Because like sports games, like the most dedicated fans on the planet are sports fans.
They're all stupidest. They're the dumbest. They're idiots.
And they will literally, like, if you're going up to a sports fan, it's like, hey, your team's going to be playing at this place, whatever, and I got front row tickets where you get to sit next to your most favorite player and your most favorite team. $10,000. They're already pulling out their money to do it. Or if you in a game, if you get to make your team with all your favorite characters, everything. There's no amount of, especially for a competitive online game, which is literally a pay to win. You literally drop in $200, and then you got a way better team than somebody who just bought the game for the $60 and wanted to go play online. And it's on top of the gambling on top of that, because it's not like, hey, I'm going to pay $20 and get this person. No, $20 and get this pack with him on the front. It's
I
not.
really, I really want LeBron James. Oh, what's the odds to get LeBron James? One in every $2,000 I spend? Well, fucking shit, right? Yeah. God damn it.
It's a
But
lot of
yeah,
times with the premium current, like there's premium currency, then there's base currency. Some games now you can't do shit with base currency, like Apex Legends.
Oh my god.
The,
Yeah, dude.
the
You
what
can't
what
even.
currency is it? It's funny as hell because that currency. Because I logged into Apex Legends I think last week. The I noticed the orange currency. It's not on the main screen. You have to go up over to your currency, and then it shows you all three of the currencies that you have. I think one of them is heirlooms. The other one is the premium currency one you have to buy. The orange one isn't up there. That's the one you earn in game by doing stuff.
Can you?
It's not there because all you use it for is to get, hey, you already got this one outfit or this one skin via loot boxes or by paying money. Now you can get an uglier color skin of it because they're always uglier. You never want to spend the money for it because it's like, oh, hey, I got this one that's active and it's got lightning across it. Oh, wow, it's awesome. And then you get another one where it's yellow and not active, but the lightning is still there, like it froze. It's like, why would I want to spend? What? It makes you want to spend premium, like spend your money on premium currency to get that stuff to actually feel like you're doing something. Then you'll come across people who got some awesome looking armor, skins, and it's just like I feel inadequate. It's like I feel like I should be getting the same shit as them, especially when they're lower level than you or lower rank than you. It's like, oh, he's a rank 3. I'm a rank 300. How come I've never seen that armor before? It's like, oh, that's why. He's 7 and his mom gave him $500.
little Timmy. Oh, little Tim.
Can
Always
you?
little Timmy.
Can you still use that currency to unlock characters that are DLC, or is that like?
You can,
But
but they
yeah.
release a character every I don't know what is it, every like let's just say 6 months. Probably not 6 months, but they release a character every once in a while. But then after you buy that character, you're like, okay, what now? What do I do with it now?
Nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing. And now you get the currency so little now. Like before, you used to get it a lot, but now they just cut it out. Say, oh yeah, maybe we'll give you a little bit. Yeah, maybe we'll give you a little bit because these new characters that we kind of introduced in our comics on Twitter. Now we want you to feel for them. I want you to really buy them. Bitch, what? No. I'll buy them because they can fly, or I'll buy them because they can do this, or I'll buy them because it's like I don't care about their story. If you want me to care about their story, you should have put it in the damn game.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you know, you're right, because if it was in the game, I would have to pay to see it. You're right.
Right? But
You're right.
how are they going to incentivize you to get it if you don't have to spend money on it? That would just be silly. Like what? Having to learn and unlock it in game by doing various things that make you want to play the game as opposed to whipping out your wallet and spending $25 on a single skin that may or may not have a lore piece or actually has nothing to do with anything and you're just a chump because you want to spend the money on something. That's just silly.
So this is a complete segue, but you know what? You know what else is? You know what else is a really shitty game industry practice that I think is going to become the norm for the next couple of years?
Nintendo.
Battle Royale.
No. Remastering PS4 games on the PS5 with DLC and charging the $70
you mean like the
price
Death
point.
Stranding director's
Death
cut?
Stranding director's cut. Ghost of Tsushima, bro. Like where you literally have to pay for the game or pay $20 to $30 to get it upgraded just because the developers were like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, so you're no matter what, you're paying that premium price, right? You even if you like the worst case scenario with like Ghost of Tsushima, right? Actually, no, the best case scenario, it's like what, $25-$30 to
It was like $10 on PS5 and like $20 on PS4 to upgrade it.
Yeah, so like if you wanted to get it already. And so you bought it full price, Ghost of Tsushima on PS4. You're paying more than someone would pay on PS5 for a copy of it with all the shit, because you're paying like close to $95 for that in the DLC. That's already kind of shit. But say maybe you bought it at a sale, where I think the lowest sale price I've seen Ghost of Tsushima at is like $30. Then you're pretty much paying the same exact premium price that people are paying on the PS5 for it. Or you could just shell out the $70 for the PS5 version, like if you've never played it, or if you just want to buy it again. So like, no matter what, the consumer's kind of getting the shit out of the stick on this, because they're still charging them extra money just to play the same shit. And it's like, okay, well, sure, I can get this expansion pass, but like, it's more money than what an expansion pass would have costed, like years ago. Where they were like $10 for this, even like with Horizon Zero Dawn, right? How much was the $15 for the fucking Frozen Waste expansion, or Frozen
yeah.
West or whatever the hell.
It was like 10 or $15. I don't remember how much it was, but like, that was okay. Yeah, you get a substantial single player experience. Cool. Now it's like $25 for the upgrade if you want it. Same with like Final Fantasy Integrate. How much was it for the PS4 upgrade, or was it like $10, $20? I don't remember.
Wasn't it like $15?
I think it was $20 for it.
20.
Yeah, I think it was $20 for it, off the top of my head. But
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in any case, it's like, why are we doing this now? Why are we making it so that people who already paid for this product now have to pay for it again, just to play it on newer hardware, updated with prettier graphics? Because it's so inconsistent, the rules that are going in play now. It's like some companies are like, yeah, here's free updates. We have so many games doing that now. Doom Eternal just had a big free update. Witcher 3, they announced a big PS5 Xbox update with free DLC being included. Like all these different games, the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Dark Souls 3.
Spider-Man.
No, Spider-Man made you pay.
No, Spider-Man Miles Morales?
No, I meant Spider-Man, the original one, on the 2018. They made you pay. Unless you bought like the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales. If you didn't, then you had to pay like $10 to upgrade it.
No, you didn't, because I didn't have to pay.
The original Spider-Man?
I don't know. I didn't play it on my PS5.
That's what I mean. 2018's Spider-Man, you have to pay $10 to update it unless you bought the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales. And it comes free. Or not free, but it comes with the Ultimate Edition because it's bundled in. But yeah. But in any case, yeah, it's like, a lot of these games are it's so inconsistent. Like, same thing with the $70 price point for games. So inconsistent, dude. Like, big first party and third party publishers are still charging people $60 for games, and then some are charging people $70. I mean, like, I don't have the biggest problem paying $70 for a PS5 game, like, with the big first party ones. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think the only one I paid $70 for was Returnal. And I feel like I enjoyed that enough that I didn't feel unjustified getting it, but it still felt gross. I mean, I bought Demon's Souls on a sale, and Resident Evil Village was $60 regardless of the platform you got it on. So I mean, I don't know why there's so many inconsistencies with these pricings and with re-releasing these games at a better price. I just don't like that, like, we spent the entirety of the last generation of the PS4 and Xbox One generation getting rehashes of PS3 games that look slightly prettier all of the time, right? I mean, I'm not wrong on that, right? That was like 90%, no, I would say like a good 40 to 50% of the games that came out that like you would play, or like hey, it's the same game you played last generation. It just looks a little better. Stuff like, okay, I can pull it off of the shelf that I have here, right? So like Dark Souls remastered, just played through that, right? Skyrim, they ported Skyrim like 3 times.
Listen, Skyrim's different. They've ported Skyrim 50,000 times. All right,
Listen, I know Skyrim. There was a different, well, not even different edition. Skyrim released every year
So
for like
2010.
five, 6 years after it released, and they charged you $60 again and again and again and again and again for it. This is what PS3, PS3 with all the DLC, PS4 with all the DLC,
PS5, VR. Don't forget the VR editions of each.
The VR, then the Legends editions.
I mean, that still goes to my point, though, is like these games that were already on the last generation are being re-released again for the.
Yeah, it's like all those when they released were all $60.
Okay, no,
Skyrim's different. Skyrim is gaming's cockroach. It's a different story.
I can name other games that have been in similar situations, right? Borderlands 1 and 2 been ported under the sun, so many different platforms: Vita, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch.
The Vita.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. Like, all right, Darksiders 1 and 2 games, PS3 games ported. BioShock, all the full collection, PS3 games ported PS4. Far Cry 3, PS3 game ported PS4. Like all.
That was a bad port.
Yeah,
Sleeping Dogs, right?
Hey,
oh wait, that's a bop.
PS3,
Dragon's Dogma,
PS3 game ported, PS4, Switch, all the other platforms, right? All of these games that we got in the Uncharted trilogy, all this shit, like games that were once on the previous generation, just getting moved up with a slight graphical upgrade, and now it's happening all over again. All of the games from the last generation that people liked getting ported up with a slight graphical upgrade and being charged again for it. And it's like, to me, it just doesn't make...
And charged more than what it
initially was. All because we can get ray tracing and you can get up to 120 FPS only if you play in performance mode without the ray tracing and all the cool things that we advertise for you. Like,
fun fact, if you buy it on PC, you only have to pay once and everything's updated. You might have to upgrade your parts, but that's about it.
That's the fucked part, though. That's so
I think the reason they're doing it now is if you got a PS5, how many PS5 games are there?
2.
Exactly.
Demon
if they release
Souls and Returnal.
Yeah,
and if they release a third one, if they know that that's the only other game on PS5, they'll be able to charge you whatever they want. It's like, hey, $60, $70. Let's throw it up there. So, they might not buy. It's like, they don't have a choice. They want a game on their new system that's incredibly rare. They'll have to pay this $70 price point.
Incredibly rare. Rarer than a PS5? I don't fucking think so.
Well, it's like this. It's literally like supply and demand. We want games. They have them. And they can charge whatever they want for them. And I know that these $70 games, I just can't wait for the next Call of Duty to be on PS5. I think it's going to be $70 for it. And then they're going to charge microtransactions for it. And I bet you the microtransactions are going to be more expensive, too.
I mean, you just explained Cold War. You actually just described Cold War.
No, see, there's a difference with Cold War and this new one. Nobody likes Cold War and nobody plays it anymore.
And nobody likes Vanguard.
No one's gonna like Vanguard, dude. Yeah, no, dude. Cold War. Listen, okay, it dropped $60 on the old consoles, $70 on the new one. If you wanted to play it on the new one, you had to pay an extra $10 for the most part. I think with Xbox they have smart delivery and you don't have to do it for that. But with PlayStation, you got to pay $10 to upgrade it to the PS5 version. Microtransactions up the ass, dude. The Rambo skin, I'm pretty sure the Rambo skin is like $40 last time I checked, or something stupid like that. Or like the Rambo. Yeah, and like people were complaining about that.
I think it comes with a Rambo. It comes with a gun skin a bow skin. I think a certain execute and a pet. Yeah, so
it was like $40 or something.
For $40, dude, for a fucking skin.
Like, holy shit. So, I mean,
Like,
like,
what the fuck?
you literally just explained Cold War, or you described Cold
Yeah,
War
but
there.
but because I think Cold War's microtransactions were like the same as like Warzone microtransactions, at least the price wise.
Oh, maybe. I don't
Imagine
know.
this next one. It's like,
I don't
oh
want to
hey,
think
it's
about
next
it.
one. Let's get Laura Croft in our new battle royale because it's gonna have a fucking battle royale.
And the best part is,
I
it's
just
next.
can't wait for a microtransaction to be $60, along with the price point for the game to be $70.
Jesus Christ, dude!
I just can't wait for that.
I mean, there's.
I can't
I
wait for
feel
that.
like there's gonna be some point where people are gonna start rebelling and then being like, "This is bullshit. We're not doing this anymore."
I
And I hope
don't, I
that's
don't
sooner
know,
than later.
dude.
But it's like,
I-
some of the biggest microtransaction games is sports games and Fortnite
Fortnite.
and Valorant.
Listen, I
And
kind of
Valorant.
give Fortnite a pass a little bit because it's fucking free.
I mean, I wouldn't even say free is the reason why I give Fortnite a pass. I would say the thing that makes me at the very least give Fortnite a pass is that they seem to actually put a lot of effort into the added content they put in the game, right?
Yeah,
It's
that
not
too.
it's not necessarily like they're just rehashing skins or making like $20 for blue, like stuff like that. You know, like it's there are actual like licensed skins and properties that have serious care put into their models and into their delivery that makes you feel like, I don't know, I really like the Rick skin from Rick and Morty. Like, I thought that was
It do
like,
be looking kind of nice.
I was like, oh, okay, that's like you did a faithful recreation of that skin in the Fortnite style almost. So I mean, I don't begrudge them at all for doing that, because it's like, like I could see why this would be tempting for a 12-year-old kid who wants to get a fucking Rick and Morty skin. I don't know, like, let them eat cake.
Alright.
Let them eat cake, bro. Let them eat cake. That's it.
I'm Pickle
It's like-
Rick.
But when you get games like the sports games, super dedicated fans that want to be on top right when it comes out. You could have a bunch of people that are boycotting microtransactions or just buying the game altogether. You're still going to have that ridiculous, like FIFA. FIFA has the most ridiculous microtransactions
Oh,
out
boy.
of any sports game. There's still going to be people that want to drop an extra $200 on their collector's edition, $120, $130. It's going to be on next gen. My bad.
The fact that those editions still sell out to me is fucking amazing. I don't understand that at all. Like, I feel like at this point, people who play sports games should be demanding that it should just be an ongoing free title. Like, instead of getting a FIFA 2022 or a fucking Madden 2022, just make a FIFA and just keep going.
No,
Just make a Madden.
because
I
then
think at
they
this
can't cut out features and then resell them to you later, Tom. That way they have to actually add on to their games incrementally. They can't do that.
I mean,
like, at this point, they should, like, if I buy Madden 20, I should get a free update with Madden 21 and then have to buy Madden 22, then get a free update to Madden 23, and then have to buy Madden. Like, there should be a 2-year. You should get 2 years with your game. I shouldn't have to spend $60, $70 on the next years for pretty much just an updated roster.
nah, fuck that, dude. I shouldn't have to spend money on a fucking sports game. If I'm gonna have to pay to get fucking, like, if I play online, if I have to pay for my packs, if I have to pay to upgrade the fucking my player, I shouldn't have that should just be. It should be an ongoing game. Sports games should not be a new game each year. I think that's fucking scummy and stupid. Also, it would probably make them more money if they did that too. That's another thing. But like,
Nah.
dude, the amount of money they can charge for microtransactions because they're not charging you $60 for a base game.
Yeah.
Imagine them charging you $20 for a fucking starter pack to get you hooked, and then all of a sudden people are like,
this is 2K. This is 2K. If their
no,
game,
this is
like, if their
FIFA,
game,
this is Madden, this is MLB, this is every single fucking sports game. NHL.
But imagine the sports
rugby,
games if they
pro
didn't charge
rugby,
you.
Man.
Imagine if they didn't charge you the $60 price point for the game. The microtransactions aren't going to be $20. Them
No,
things
they're
going to be
gonna be
up
like 40.
to 35, 40. And it's like $40 for this pack that comes with seven players. One is a 10% of being rare. That'll piss people the fuck off. people are still gonna buy it, just not as much.
I still think they should just stop selling sports games yearly. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's why I said every buy year they should release a new one. We should get a free update of a roster in our current game.
So Tom, you mentioned Death Stranding director earlier.
Yeah, dude, we went kind of crazy. Hold on, wait.
Microtransactions is one hell of a thing.
Yeah, what the fuck was the point of the Death Stranding?
We need to tone it down with something really Resident Sleeper. So let's talk about Death Stranding.
You right. This is E3. Hold up.
Resident Sleeper.
Death Stranding director's cut. That's not Resident Sleeper.
Oh, Sleeper is the same shit.
True.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Resident Samer. Hold up.
I mean, I don't know.
I know they added more
guns.
missions. More guns.
They're actually guns.
They improved
there's
combat.
A gun range.
They improved the melee combat.
There's a car racing circuit, the Fragile circuit. You saw it? I saw it.
The Fragile circuit?
Yep, the Fragile
like
circuit.
Fragile Fragile?
Fragile, yes. Like Fragile.
Like my fucking shattered psyche? What the fuck are you doing, Kojima?
But for this is the Death Stranding game, is it going to be like a pay $10 for the upgrade, or is it just going to give it to you free if you already have it?
I don't know if they elaborated.
Or is it going to be you have to buy it? Because that is literally, I need to pay $10 for an update to your game.
I think
I'm not paying you shit for an update.
Let me see.
I think it's an update. I think they mentioned
if it's going to be a free update, I'm like, okay, fine, then Death Stranding is Death Stranding. If it's going to be a paid update, it's like, no. It's like, I'm not. Go. What? $10.
$10. Yep, you got to update to the director's cut for $10.
Suck my balls. I ain't
update to your
$10.
game.
I'm not paying for Death Stranding. Death Stranding sucked.
Like, that's literally the epitome of a Call of Duty update. It's like, oh, hey, you have to update $10. Like,
for 52 gigabytes.
For fucking what reason? Yeah, 52. You think they're 52 now?
True. 112.
Exactly. This Death Stranding game, I mean, it.
Oh, sorry.
It just looked the same to me.
I mean, it is. It's the same thing, just with like 3 new things.
So.
Wait, hold on, wait. I can read off to you what's in there.
Oh my god.
Okay, so new boss battles, remastered graphics.
Yes, another boss battle you can just run away from because that's a thing in the game.
Upgraded combat mechanics. Parentheses, more melee options.
Yeah.
The Macer gun. Ooh. A firing range. New delivery support options. Most notably, a support skeleton in the buddy. But is there only one gun? Did they add one gun and that's it?
Probably.
A Macer.
Wow. Gun. The Macer gun. Okay. The Fragile Circuit Racing minigame. New story missions. Adaptive trigger support. 3D audio. And performance mode. 60 FPS and upscaled 4K. And fidelity mode, which is true 4K.
And
yes, the Macer gun. The Macer gun. When that's not their purse and they don't know you.
And they're adding in the Half-Life and Cyberpunk themed content that was free in the PC version.
Oh.
But you got to pay $10 for that if you want to get it on the PS4.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Dude,
all I'm saying is the Macer gun by itself, $9.99.
Okay, the last thing I want to leave on with the state of play is I don't know about y'all, but I've never seen this anime Demon Slayer before, but that trailer made me never want to fucking touch it or look at it again in my life, dude.
There's a Demon Slayer trailer?
Demon Slayer game trailer.
It's literally another Ultimate Ninja knockoff.
It just didn't look good. Like the character's dialogue made me cringe internally and externally. Like I think I was gagging as I watched it. Like I don't know, dude.
At least the trailer for the game and the actual anime, like they just took like the most weeaboo cringy things that the character said and threw them in there. Like there was more context.
All I'm gonna say is that I got massive Xenoblade 2 vibes from that one trailer, so I never want to touch that. I'm sorry.
The game's like, it's like, oh, one-on-one fights. Like, okay. And sometimes during the fights, they just do moves. It's like, okay, why are there MMO mechanics here where the floor lights up and you have to move? It's like, what the hell is this? And then there's one-on-one fights that you can do Naruto style, but it's like, it doesn't look. It's like, just give us another Ultimate Ninja game. Like, stop with this shit. It's like, I know it's a big anime and a lot of people watched it, but no. It's like, just fuck off with that. It didn't look. It didn't look like it should have been. It's going to be a $70, $60 game. It looks like, hey, $30 and maybe I'll get it. Maybe.
So yeah, I mean, we've been at this for like a good hour now, and I feel like this last topic can definitely get us through a lot. Oh my god, I'm surprised we went through.
Hold on, wait. Before you announce it, I have to get a beverage because this is going to give me depressiones, like extreme depressiones.
Didn't you already have a beverage?
Yes, I did. I drank it all because I'm depressed.
Ah, yes, microtransactions. They'll do that to the
because Nintendo gives me urethral damage.
What?
You heard the man. Ditto works his way up there.
Pokemon?
Pokemon? There you go. Now you can put Pokemon in the tags.
I don't need to.
What do you mean you don't need to?
I don't need her clout. I got my own.
Sure, but just to be safe, let's just say Amaranth and Indie Fox bathtub band. There you go.
Without you, Nintendo.
So
this is actually a DMC8. I probably shouldn't say that.
So we're good now.
Yes, we are.
Okay, the biggest disappointment of the week. Nintendo announced their brand new Switch model, the one that everyone was looking forward to. Everyone was like, this is it. The Switch Pro, the new Switch 4K, new Nintendo Switch, Super Nintendo Switch. It's going to be the second coming of Christ. The Nintendo Switch OLED. Give it up, everyone. Round of applause. Nintendo Switch OLED. It is the same console, only it has a slightly bigger OLED screen, same exact processing power, and the dock comes with an Ethernet cable. $50 more.
The battery's going to be half. The FPS is going to be less.
The battery is the same. Battery is the same.
Yeah, see, somehow I don't believe that.
See, when you said clap earlier, round of applause, you couldn't hear, but I was actually scratching my nuts instead because it gave me
all right. But
Nintendo Switch OLED gives me crabs.
So
Nintendo Switch OLED burns my dick.
I have talked with a lot of people and like interacted with people in my chat who knew about this. I've talked with people in real life that I know. No one that I know is excited or wants to get this console because it really does not speak to any of their needs. They're like, why would I get this? I don't really need this. It doesn't.
Why would I get it? I already have it.
It doesn't really fix any of the issues I had with the Switch before because most of these issues I've already circumvented. Stuff like the Ethernet cable or Ethernet port, right? Okay, you already bought the dongle. We don't need it. Okay, and whatever. Stuff like, okay, you want an OLED screen, but I don't need one because I mostly play my Switch in TV mode. And, in TV mode, at least I can sometimes run my games at 1080p if it's old enough and, and maybe if I run it at 1080p and 22 FPS, I'll be good. But, like, I don't know, just, like, shit like that. It's like, so to me, it's like, I feel like this is hitting at a really weird time. And there have been a couple conspiracy theories that I'm buying into, like one of them being that like because of the microchip shortage right now and the lack of like graphics cards that Nintendo had to like do a half step, like they were planning on making an actual upgraded system, but they couldn't meet the supply for it. So they're like, let's just do the OLED screen and call it a day. But I mean, it's still fucking lazy and dumb. It's like, the console is already being attacked from fans and critics alike for not having games that perform very well on it. Most of the games, whether they be ports or first-party titles, struggle to run on this thing Pokemon struggles to run on this thing. Fucking Pokemon struggles to run on the Nintendo Switch, the console it is created for, and it runs at like fucking 15 FPS whenever my Blastoise does a hydro pump on the fucking screen. Like,
dude, whenever you load up the game and you run at 5 frames per second for a solid 5 minutes, dude.
Oh my, like, and to me, it's like, okay, you're obviously have underpowered hardware, and the games are only getting more demanding and more graphically intense. I mean, we saw fucking Pokemon Legends Arceus literally earlier this year, and that game was running like garbanzo beans. Like, and like, I don't know, like Nintendo, I was really thinking there's no literal way, like Nintendo's a stupid company. Nintendo makes stupid decisions. Sure, I've seen Nintendo do dumb shit before. There is no humanly possible way they aren't dropping a Switch with better hardware with all of these games that we've been seeing, things that like we don't think could run on the Switch, things that are like, that looks way too bad to actually be footage that we would see running on our hardware. You know, they got to be releasing something new, something big that's got an upgrade that can make it at least tolerable. I'm not saying things are going to run at 4K 60 FPS. We're going to have 120 FPS and ray tracing on Zelda or on Pokemon. I'm just saying something like stable 1080p, you know, 60 FPS on your handheld. You got it. You're good. Go home, play your Pokemon, do Pokemon Snap, whatever. But no, not even that. Not even that. We can't, like, Nintendo's lost their fucking mind. Like, I don't understand it at all. Like, how is I don't know how they announced the Guardians of the Galaxy game is coming to the Switch. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm actually morbidly curious. I am morbidly curious, dude. Like,
it's gonna ray trace at 10 FPS.
Ray trace.
No, the whole game is just the Patrick's dancing to Soulja Boy and 144p meme, dude. Like, then Pokemon Legends, like games that are coming out that we know about, Zelda Breath of the Wild, like all of these games that could obviously work well with a frame rate boost, with a graphics boost. How is this going to work? Like, they're not giving us any sense of like confidence in the system that is fucking 4 years old now, going to be 5 years old soon, being able to handle these games that are growing more and more graphically intensive. Like, at some point, third-party studios and development studios, you know, sure, the Switch has a huge install base, it's very popular, but soon they're just not going to be able to release games on this platform anymore. It's going to be like the Nintendo Wii all over again, where all we have for third-party shit is shitty shovelware and like games that are specifically made for the hardware. And even then, the games that are made for the hardware don't run that well. Like, I love Nintendo, okay? Y'all already know I'm a Nintendo fanboy. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life. This is the stupidest thing. It's not like the quirky, quirky, like weird, unpractical, stupid Risk type of thing that Nintendo would normally make. Like the fucking 2DS. Like, oh, it's so stupid and quirky. Oh, 3DS without the 3D. Oh, it's a fucking. I was about to say, dude. I was literally gonna say wedge of cheese. So. Or you know, stuff like the I don't know, fucking
Nintendo DSi, baby.
The DSi. I was gonna say like
the fucking Wii Mini, baby.
The Wii Mini, like. These weird fucking like half-step systems that take away features are like really quirky and stupid. It's like, all right, whatever. You're just being fucking ridiculous, Nintendo. Go away. Like stuff.
The best part about one of those systems is that they were only sold exclusively in Canada, so they fucked Canadians specifically. And I thought that was funny.
But to me, like those were just like novelty systems where they were like, let's just milk out any last, you know, like marketability of this console we can get, and let's try something weird and stupid and you know, like, oh yeah, a lower end version of the 3DS that, you know, takes out the key flagship feature, but if people don't care about that, $70 you could just take it, whatever. It's like, oh, whatever.
But then
Oh my god, you just cut out like 80 times, dude. I couldn't hear a single word you said.
And then, but they just released a better version of the DS after that anyway. So what was the point of releasing the 2DS?
I mean, because it spoke to different markets, but whatever. Like
you couldn't do anything on it.
The thing is with like Nintendo itself, with this new Switch OLED, you know for a fact they're gonna make a shit ton of profit on it because Nintendo fans will buy Nintendo stuff.
So I literally have in my fucking notes, and I'm staring at it, and then I looked at my Switch, and I looked back at my notes. Who the hell asked for this?
Yeah, so that's what. No, so
it's okay. It's 7 inches.
So my
why is that? It's docked.
Oh my god! My major point in this was like all those other systems that I mentioned were quirky and stupid, and sure maybe they had a purpose, but they had a purpose because Nintendo's stupid. They do stupid things, they make dumb decisions, and hopefully it pans out. And for the most part, it actually works out because the fan base is stupid and people will just buy shit, like whatever. But like with the Switch OLED, what makes me upset, what makes me like, oh, what the fuck is this? Is that you can't look at me with a straight face and say this is otherwise, right? This is Nintendo actually trying. This is Nintendo actually trying to release a marketable incremental upgrade to their system that they think people will like. And because of that, because they're actually trying, it makes me mad. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. And no one wants it. Like, again, at least with like the 2DS, it made some sense. Because some motherfucker out there who didn't have a 3DS was like, oh yeah, I'll pay $70. Like, I'll pay half the price of a 3DS just to fucking play 3DS games. But this is just like a shitty upgrade for a console that no one wanted a shitty upgrade for. We wanted an actual upgrade.
It was literally like, hey, Nintendo, did you know that people are playing your Switch in docked mode? Oh, why? I don't know, but they're playing it on an OLED TV. There we go. It's the OLED. That's why they're doing it.
They need more space, and they need OLED. Go.
It's like, that must be why. Oh, yeah. They said something about frame rate. Yeah, how it's good, right? Yeah, let's go on to the next thing. OLED Switch.
Well, they want OLED. They're playing on OLED 4K TVs, right? Yes, we'll give them OLED 4K. What? Sorry, all I heard was OLED. What was that? I couldn't hear you.
That 4K sounded like we needed to upgrade the frame rate.
Sounded like we needed to run off the potato again. What was that?
The only thing about the thing that bugs the shit out of me, like if you know anything about how performance and visuals and like actual games, game design and like graphics goes for the most part, is that like sure you can have a nice looking OLED screen that looks pretty, but if the game still runs like garbage and still looks gross, then there is no reason to play on the prettier screen because it's still going to look ugly as dicks. It's still going to look ugly. So what's the point of releasing a screen that's prettier if what you're playing on it is still going to run like garbage?
That's like playing solitaire on an iPhone 5 and then getting an iPhone X and playing the same thing with solitaire.
Yeah, dude.
Except now it runs a little bit worse.
It's like playing Flappy Bird on your newest Samsung.
Hey, hold on. Flappy Bird was a banger though. Hold on.
True. Wait. Nah, dude. It's like getting the newest up to date PC and then just getting it for Viva Pinata.
Hold on.
I do have that on Game Pass though.
The first one.
Which Viva Pinata though?
First one.
The first one.
Hey, hold on.
I do have this on Game Pass though, so hold up. That's gonna be But
Viva Pinata on Game Pass.
The only thing because you can buy the dock separate, right?
Yeah.
Does that dock work with the original Switch?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say if that dock only works with the Switch OLED, then that'd be some.
No, and I mean maybe that would be worth it if you want the Ethernet port, like. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. You can just buy a dongle.
Like 80% of people who wanted Ethernet already have the dongle. So what's the point?
I don't know. Maybe this is going to incentivize Smash players to get good internet. I don't fucking know.
But Nintendo's not going to fix their fucking potato Wi-Fi. What does it matter?
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
No, they're not.
Those servers are going to be ass regardless.
No, they're not. They're not. You're right. But I don't know, like I'm just like kind of done now with Nintendo. Like I don't know, man. I love the
Dude, wait,
company.
hold on. You didn't mention all the other upgrades that come with the OLED,
Oh
okay?
no.
All right. So instead
Okay,
of the
I'm peacing out.
6.2 inch screen you get on the regular Switch, you get 7 inches now. So you get a round up. You get a larger adjustable stand that you can use when you're not docking your Switch. You have better audio that Nintendo has said nothing about and is not explained as to why it's better audio, what speakers they're using.
They added in
what
another
sound they're
speaker.
using.
That's it.
It's on a Bose speaker. It's a single Bose speaker.
That's dual
And
channel audio.
actually, they doubled the storage space, which is
Yeah,
something.
that's probably the only real big thing. Doubling the storage space.
Doubling the storage space, big thing. Oh my fucking god!
It's the only
64
notable thing, that's it.
gigabytes. 64. You know how much a flash drive of 64 gigs costs? Like $20, dude. You can buy one for 20. My Switch has fucking 360 something gigs of storage on it. I bought it for $40 at a Walmart. All right, like no, it's not.
It's big compared to all the other upgrades.
No.
Does your flash drive have an OLED screen? I didn't think
it
so.
sounds big because
No,
it's
not.
double.
It's not big at all.
Yeah, it sounds because they can use the term double, even though the size of the Switch's fucking fucking Switch's original storage was so fucking microscopic to compare with.
That's another thing too. The 64 gigs is just a slap in the face because people who own a Switch already have an SD card or multiple SD cards at this point.
There's no way.
There's no fucking point. You could have just stuck with 32 gigs and nothing would have changed. Like fuck off. Or you could have given us more fucking stuff. I have a PS4 with a terabyte of storage. What am I gonna do with 64 gigs? Play Mario and Zelda?
Now you can download 4 digital big games, and that'll be it.
Oh boy, Mario, Zelda, and Bayonetta 1 and 2? Fuck yeah, man. Can't play Bayonetta 3 yet, though!
Hideki Kamiya, it's all your fault.
I think one of my favorite things about that trailer was the fact that they just showed the trailers for fucking Metroid Dread and fucking
Breath of the Wild 2.
Dude, literally,
they didn't show gameplay of any games. They just used the fucking
and they
trailer.
They had the dude sitting there pushing buttons and everything, but it's playing the trailers on the TV.
It's like playing a game, bitch. No, the fuck you're not. We saw E3, you dumbass.
Breath of the Wild 2 did have new gameplay footage though, actually. Stuff we didn't see before. That was like
trailer didn't.
You know it did.
I didn't see a single new bit of footage.
There was new footage in that. I'm positive there was.
Where in that trailer was the new footage of Breath of the Wild 2?
One sec. Pulling it up right now.
I'm gonna do some research.
If it was there, I probably just didn't pay attention to the fact that the guy was playing Metroid Dread on a new fucking. It was playing the Metroid Dread cutscene from E3. Nintendo, you actual.
I just think the best part of that commercial was when the dude came in went into his house, had his bag on, just put it down, sat on the chair sat down, and just started playing his Switch. Like, who the hell does that? You got a heavy bag, just came in from working, and you just said, no one does that. No, the internet was pissed off about that too. It's like, literally nobody does that.
I haven't played my Switch in like 3 months.
When the chick is sitting on the sun chair, we see like it's literally just 5 seconds of footage, but it's Link running through an area that we haven't ever seen before.
That's not even fucking worth it.
But I'm just saying they showed actual gameplay of Splatoon 3, which they have not shown previously.
Okay, yeah, I'll give them that.
They showed actual footage of the game being played on a new map. So I mean, with a new weapon too. I think it's like a huge fucking crossbow they were using.
Yeah.
There. So I mean, like,
I'll give them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm about as hyped for Splatoon 3 as I was for Splatoon 2. Why did they make a second one? Like, fucking.
That's the whole title, Splatoon 2. Why did they make a second one?
Like, you could have just kept going with Splatoon. Instead, we're now on the third one. For what? But like, who the fuck asked for this?
No one.
Why did they make this? Who thought the people were gonna buy this and be like, I'll take your entire stock, please.
Nintendo is just a monkey's paw company, dude.
The monkey's fist company.
You ask for something and your wish is twisted in horrible ways every single time.
It's like a genie, but it's not like the Disney genie.
Oh, it's like the remake Disney Genie.
God, that was just awful.
For example, Pikmin fans been asking Nintendo, can we get Pikmin, new Pikmin for years?
You have Pikmin.
Then they released Pikmin 3 Deluxe, same game.
You have Pikmin at home. Yeah. Pikmin at home.
Or Pikmin mobile game. It's everything except for the thing that people want. Sometimes we get hits, sometimes we get things people actually want, but then most of the time, or like the monkey's paw situation with Pokemon. It's like, oh, can we get an open world Pokemon game? That'd be really cool. Yes, but it will run at 10 FPS and look like doo-doo. Like that's
every Pokemon is not actually 3D. It's a PNG at multiple angles.
It's like, but guys, it's okay. You get to be a ninja.
That game's gonna be so fucked. That game is gonna be so fucked when it drops. There's no way that game is gonna look good.
Is it weird that the Diamond and Pearl remakes are probably gonna be better than the brand new open world Pokemon game?
Ooh,
Ooh, spooky Chingling.
Aww.
Fucking PNG, dude.
So,
God fucking.
Okay, so now we've. I feel like this has been a really cathartic episode of the podcast. We've been screaming and venting about so many things.
Just us throwing out our grievances in the gaming industry.
Literally, yeah, this is the angry episode right here. So I mean, like, since we've mentioned all this about the Switch OLED, one of the things I wanted to bring up with you guys is, y'all remember all those like shitty redistributions of consoles with like a new coat of paint or something like that?
All right. All right, I got a list. Let me start. Let me start with the PSP Go.
I was gonna say, if anyone has the PSP Go here, that is like my number one right now, dude. PSP Go, absolutely horrible system.
Not only did the PSP Go kill the PSP, almost started the stupid fucking digital trend. It went full digital on a dying console. It inspired the Nintendo DSi, which was an equally, almost worse fucking console than the PSP Go, which...
It killed pain.
No, the PSP Go was so bad it killed the Vita, dude. That's how bad.
Dead on arrival. Fucking dead on arrival. Dude.
Oh, thankfully, I never had the PSP Go because I already had a PSP. Oh. I was like, why would I want that? All it does is worse stuff.
All I'm saying is, I got Lords of Dogtown and MX Unleashed physically with my PSP when I bought my PSP. You know what I would have got if I got PSP Go? Fucking a digital copy of fucking Ratchet and Clank. Fuck Ratchet and Clank, and fuck the digital copy on a dead console.
It wasn't Ratchet and Clank, it was just Clank, dude. That was the one that released.
True.
On PSP.
It was just Ratchet and Clank Bolt. Or, excuse me, it was Clank Bolt.
Clank Bolt, yes.
Clank Bolt.
But,
that's the sound, dude. It would make when you dropped it.
I mean, that was a bad one. The DSi was pretty bad. Though, I mean, the DSi, the big thing that people didn't like about it was that it had like internet capabilities.
It also took away the Game Boy cartridge.
Took away the Game Boy cartridge, which was pretty shit, yeah.
Stupid as fuck.
I mean, I thought personally, this was like one that was under the radar for a lot of people. But like midway through the Vita's life cycle, like they started off using OLED screens, and then they switched to just LED screens in the later models. Like, why would you just downgrade like that?
They just gave up at that point. They saw the Vita was just dead, and they were like, "Why are we spending money on this?"
Tyler, what about you?
PSP Ghosts.
Dicks.
You got any other ones? Any other?
So you're talking about are you talking about the just spin-offs of already
So
remade consoles, or
Yeah,
like
redesign.
like
or are we talking about like the
redesigns of
PlayStation Classic?
like redesigns of consoles that existed before, like half step stuff that
So like a
like
PlayStation Pro to a PlayStation.
yeah, or like the new 3DS to the 3DS, or the 2DS to the 3DS, or like
2DS was mid as fuck too.
yeah.
I mean, nothing I could think of off the top of my head that had like that was at least worse or a big difference. Other than the ones we already said.
So when I did do some research, I didn't realize that people didn't like the Sega Genesis 3. And then I looked up why people didn't like the Sega Genesis 3. And I was like, I don't like the Sega Genesis 3. This thing sucks. It had worse processing power, and all the add-ons you would get with your fucking Sega Genesis, you couldn't use on the Sega Genesis 3. And you couldn't play older games on the Sega Genesis 3 because the processing power was fucking worse. So the Sega Genesis 3 was dick and useless.
Hey, but you could play E.T. on that, though.
It was dick and useless.
So one of the ones that I think was also kind of like really gross was the PlayStation 3 top loader. Y'all remember that? It was like the super slim model, like that,
where it was like the sliding top. It was supposed to be like almost like a PS2.
No, it it literally opened from the top like a CD player, and you put your discs in it. Like that one, like it had issues with like scratching people's discs, and like it didn't run properly, and people had problems with it. Like,
bro, you couldn't play a fucking Call of Duty game on that thing.
Yeah, it seemed really good, and it was like the last implementation of the PS3 that they had too, before after the slim and the fat model too. So
thing was ass. Like what? Like especially coming off the slim. The slim was by far the better PS3 model. That thing was fucking. It was nice. It worked real good. I think that was the model I ended up ending that console generation with. It was a good model PS3. But I don't know how they did it, man. I just don't fucking like. Did they just go back to? Did they just use PS2 technology to make the fucking PS3 top loader? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel
they
like
asked the people who made the PSP Go how they did it.
True.
I feel like there's also like the Game Boy Micro. That one was pretty bad.
I didn't even remember the Game Boy Micro.
The screen was so fucking small and gross, and no one actually wanted it.
Forgot all about that one. That's how bad that was.
Yeah, honestly, some of these are lost throughout the annals of both my mind and history.
Yeah, and I had the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color. Forgot all about the Game Boy Micro.
Dude, Game Boy Advance SP? That was where it was at.
Game Boy Advance SP
hold on, that's a banger.
One of the best console redesigns ever was the Advance.
Honestly, dude, fucking use that to read it to fucking design the 3DS, dude.
The regular DS too. It was pretty.
Yeah, excuse me, the DS.
It was great. Y'all
the PSP Go? That thing was
dick. Circled right back around to it.
I mean, fucking, can you name me another shitty console redesign?
Wii Mini?
Switch OLED.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like a lot of the trends for really crappy console redesigns do come purely from Nintendo.
So on my list, 3 of the 5 consoles that I have are all Nintendo.
Yeah. Nintendo
the DSi, the Wii Mini, and the 2DS.
Nice.
Why the fuck would you make the Wii Mini the way you did? Didn't have any online functionality, and then you released it in a single country. What? I don't understand. No one asked for it. The Wii at that point was already a dying system. Like the Wii was shit in the bed at that point. Why'd you do it?
We want to make a system for families to play. Oh, you don't know? Families hate each other.
People don't have families in Canada. They have maple leaves.
Oh. Oh, and loonies and toonies.
Yeah, and Mounties. They'll mount you real good.
Where the peak of their problem is that their money didn't smell like maple syrup, so they made it smell like maple syrup.
So instead of using money, they use maple syrup.
Like, oh, they just turned into ragging on Canada.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. When you release a fucking dead console exclusively in a country, that's like a big slap in the face. If I was Canada, I would tell Nintendo never sell a console in my country ever again after that.
Damn.
Like, it's weird, because like when you release a console exclusively in Canada, everyone's like, fucking why? It's like, no, stupid. But you release a console exclusively in Japan, everybody's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, it's fucking
like,
Nintendo.
I mean, Japan always gets the good ones, though. It's the,
They always got the good shit. They got the good shit. They got oh my god, their internet speeds are a literal god compared to us.
Yeah.
Like, we're like ants compared to their internet speed. It's fucking ridiculous.
Nintendo, why can't we get the Japanese servers?
That's not up to Nintendo. It's up to United States of America. They don't want us to have that good shit.
We got gigabit
God
Ethernet.
bless America.
God bless the U.S. of Hamburg.
I think the last console, actually, now that I think about it, I wanted to mention it was the it's actually one of the most recent ones, the Xbox One SAD. You know the Xbox One SAD?
Oh, the One S.
The Xbox One. So there's the One S, which is like just the remodeled original Xbox One. But the Xbox One SAD is the Xbox One S all digital edition. So like,
Dude.
the problem with the all digital one is that they wanted to do the thing that the Xbox Series S is doing now, but like the Series S actually has like a market for people who don't want to build a PC and maybe just don't really care about 4K and just want to play games that are coming out, on Game Pass and stuff. Whatever. The Xbox One SAD though was like the big marketing thing about the Xbox One at the time was like, hey, our console can play Blu-ray discs. Our console, you can watch movies in 4K on it. And, maybe you can't play games in 4K, but you can watch movies in 4K. It's, you could do all that. It's like, okay, but your console doesn't have a disc drive with SAD. So like, why even release that console without that flagship feature that you've been touting that your console can do?
Why do companies release digital editions? Like, why are they taking that option?
I mean, right now, because digital distribution is a lot more popular than physical media distribution for people. So I think they assume that people would be okay with just buying a console without a disc drive, just to save a little bit of extra money.
But it's like one of those things where me and I'm sure a lot of other people understand that games nowadays are a lot easier and probably more convenient to get digitally. But at that point, you're just taking the option away from someone without giving any agency or without asking anyone. It's like what was wrong with the disc tray? I liked having that. I want to have a physical game.
I agree. I definitely agree with the sentiment. Like, it goes back to what I said earlier about like how games that are online only, they can be lost to time when servers shut down. It's like, okay, when the second that the PlayStation Store server shut down, I won't have access to any of the library of games that I had before. The second my console shits the bed, all that save data I had that was on the system and all the licenses I had and everything, they're just gone forever. And it's not like I actually owned it. It's just I owned a license to play it. We saw that
especially when it's a cult classic game that gets discontinued, isn't sold anymore, and gets ripped off digital storefronts. And that way, if you don't have it on your console, you just don't have it. Period. AKA Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah, I mean that's back now, but like PT, Scott Pilgrim, stuff like that, games that were once very popular, once called classic games that you just rip from your digital storefront, and then people just can't play it anymore. It's lost media. It's lost opportunities for people to play things that might have been fun in the past, and it's really unfortunate that that's a result of this digital media distribution stuff. And I understand that, I don't like it, but at the same time, I see where the counter argument can be, which is like, hey, video game consoles are pretty much just becoming glorified PCs. And PCs have been doing this for ages now, where you just buy a game on a digital storefront, Steam, Epic Games Store, Microsoft Store, and then you just play the game digitally and download it directly onto your computer. Like, name me a computer that has a fucking disk drive that you could play video games on your PC through a disk.
Dell Optimum Multiplex.
Who the fuck owns that? Okay. So, I mean, like, you know, my point being that pretty much everyone exclusively on PC buys games digitally. So I think they're assuming that we're just going to merge into that culture seamlessly, even though I feel like games, you know, game consoles serve that market of like the collector a lot more, as someone who wants to own the physical media themselves. It's why you have the box. It's why you buy the fucking different colored controllers. It's why you buy the collector's editions with the statues. It's like you want to get the memorabilia and the shelf pieces to maybe, you know, again, one day if you want to pull a game off your shelf and play it for fun one day, you have that opportunity to with physical media. You know, you don't always have that opportunity with digital media. Especially like, say, God forbid something happens to like your PlayStation account or your Microsoft account, they get hacked or something, and then you lose access to all those games you bought, and you know you're locked off from your account and you can't really do anything about it. Or, you know, like one of the things that, I mean, like, here's a big criticism of Game Pass I have, right? I like Game Pass. I'm not gonna say love. I like Game Pass. I think it's a really great service. You have a lot of options for games that you can play, and there's definitely it's definitely a good value for what you can get out of games and playing games on it. You know, there's so many games for so many people, and it's only like, you know, $15 a month pretty much by itself. Great deal. But like the Game Pass library is constantly shifting, where, you know, games are coming and going real quick, and you know, you never really get to stick with one thing. And although it feels more like you're renting out games to play incrementally, and then they go away, and then you're like, oh well, I didn't beat that, so maybe I should go buy it. Or I don't know, maybe
you're leasing it.
You're leasing a game, yeah, pretty much, right? So I don't know. I hope that, like, that's why I just don't like any of the digital console redesigns, things like the PlayStation 5 digital or the Xbox Series S. It just doesn't feel like it feels like we're not there yet, where we can be comfortable enough with having these expensive pieces of media, you know, be stored on digital storefronts that, for all intents and purposes, can just take it away from us at any moment in time. So I don't know.
I think the price of these are going to keep going up. That's another thing.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
As much as I enjoy just having the game and playing the game, me and there's a lot of other people would, you know, if you like the game enough, or you enjoy the game enough, you'd like to have a physical piece of, you know, the memorabilia or something, or the physical game to commemorate the fact that you own this piece of media and you like this piece of media enough. Like, there's always going to be a group of people, whether or not that becomes a small minority or not, that are going to want to buy a physical product. And they're going to want to commemorate the fact that, hey, this is their favorite gaming franchise. This is their favorite game. This is their favorite, you know, whatever piece of media. That's always going to be a thing. I don't know how much weight that's going to hold in the future, and how, you know, whether or not that's going to dictate the fact that physical games are made or not anymore. These memorabilia packages are made anymore. But I feel like probably not for at least another 2 decades that's even going to be a thing. Like, the physical copies are going to keep being made for a while, but it's just at what point are they going to be phased out or attempted to be phased out?
I mean, I think we're seeing the early stages of those being phased out. And I mean, the numbers are definitely showing that people are, in large part, just buying games at digital media now. And I think that's also evident of the fact too, right, that I don't know, for a lot of games, I don't know if it's just me, but for a lot of games, I feel like it's difficult for a period of time, like after maybe 1 or 2 weeks when the game comes out, to find a game physically at store shelves. if you don't pre-order it and get it right away, or if you don't wait for when it's sitting in bargain bins like months later during a holiday sale. Like right now, it's actually kind of hard for me to find physical copies of Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's honestly pretty difficult. Like a lot of places nearby don't have it. A lot of places nearby don't have copies of I don't know. Let me think. Like
Cyberpunk.
no, they have a lot of copies of that game.
Like
A lot of places don't have copies of like a fucking Mass Effect trilogy, for example, like physical copies of it lying around right now, and it's a little weird to think that, but at the same time, I think it's because people are mostly buying these games on a digital storefront, and that means that there's not a whole lot of demand for the physical copies, so retailers aren't stocking them on shelves, which means that the few people who want them will just go and grab them, and then the rest you either wait for or, get later. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope that physical media doesn't get phased out that quickly. I don't think it's going to go away overnight, yeah, but I think it's definitely showing its decline now, and we might not notice it at the beginning, but I think give it a couple years and we'll definitely start to see more of a complete I think the one thing that honestly holds back physical media from being as popular as it is that digital storefronts, for the most part, like with video game consoles and manufacturers, things like the Xbox store, things like the PlayStation store, they have really shit sales. Like games will still be $60 full price when you can buy them at like a Target or a GameStop or Best Buy for like $20. Like Cyberpunk, I'm pretty sure is still full price on PS4, even though they just put it up on the store. But like you could buy that shit for $25 anywhere or $20 anywhere that you want right now. So to me, it's like why would you go and buy it digitally and pay more money for something that you can't even sell back, or you can't you don't really own the physical copy of, or you could just go out to a store and have it shipped to you for $25. But the second that these digital storefronts start charging a lot less for games online is when I think we're going to see a lot of people have less incentive to leave their house and go buy things. If I can buy like 10 games for the price of one on the PlayStation store, and they're all markedly cheaper because they don't come with a disc that you need, they don't come with any manuals, they don't come with a case, anything like that, and they're just like, oh, let's skip the production costs and charge less for the games online. That's when I think we should start fearing for digital media, physical media, because that's when digital media is going to be so much more convenient and enticing for people who even like physical media. But at the moment, because of the way that things are priced, I don't think. I think that's the one thing honestly holding people back, and I hope it doesn't change anytime soon. I hope these companies stay greedy as shit.
If we start getting fucking PS5 and Xbox pack and plays, dude, I'm gonna jump off a roof.
Pack and plays, yeah.
Fucking imagine getting an Xbox controller, but it has like 100 games loaded onto it.
No.
Like the old, like those old arcade sticks.
Oh no, yeah, not like pack and plays. Again, I just mean like where.
No, but bundles.
Yeah, like how there's
pack.
Humble Bundle sales or like Steam sales where you get really low priced Steam games that are they're all really popular, things like that. It's like stuff like that. If you could get that on the PS5 or the Xbox or the Microsoft store on the Xbox storefront, then honestly, it might deter people from going outside and buying physical copies of games. It's like, and that's the day that GameStop will die. So, shit. When does Lost Judgment come out?
September 24th.
Tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, September 24th.
It comes up the same day as the Death Stranding Director's Cut. You know what else comes out the same day as both those things? Another podcast, which you should like. Click the fucking like button because click the like button and subscribe. And who knows, comment. You comment, the mother brain algorithm It'll help us.
Other
Yeah.
brain algorithm.
I don't know. I said something about that like a podcast or two ago. I'm trying to keep
Yeah,
continuity.
You know what?
Okay?
Don't like this video. Go like Blue Dragon Part 2. Get it to 1,000 likes, and you'll get Blue Dragon
1,000
Part
views.
3.
If you get Blue Dragon Part 2 to 1,000 likes and this to 30 likes, hot tub stream and Blue Dragon Part 3 at the same time.
Waka.
Shit. There's a. Damn. Let me think. That wasn't the game I was thinking of. There's a game coming out. You know, something's coming out in September. That's a big game. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's like September
11th.
Oh, it's not kosher.
you know.
Flight Simulator.
Oh, you know what? So you have Deathloop that comes out September 14th.
Ew.
WarioWare that
Ew.
comes out September 10th. Tales of Arise comes out September 10th. The New Life of Strange comes out September 10th. But you know what? I just realized that there's a game that comes out on September 7th.
Sonic Colors, isn't it?
Sonic, it's not
You're going to say
the,
that in every
It's-
podcast. You're going to bring that up.
it's pretty mid, but I don't think it's going to be the best game that comes out on September 7th, actually. I think the game that we need to look forward to that comes out September 7th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, all right, is Bus Simulator 21.
All right, okay. I've said it only once this podcast. You need to stop smoking the pack, dude. Enough of this.
Sonic
Colors
is mid.
It's okay.
Exactly. It's mid.
God damn it.
Saying every podcast you're going to say that, huh?
You smash the like button, he'll stop saying it, and I'll get out of the basement that he keeps me in, please.
Mid.
Please, he said.
He said, please. He said,
I can only leave the basement if this video gets likes.
I can only leave the basement if he gets clout. Please help me.
mid.
And he tells me that every day.
Sonic Colors.
A gaming
I wake up-
chronicler called Pokemon a boy? What? There's your
Huh?
clock.
That's my client. Fun fact:
your
if you get 50 likes on this video, free Pokemon footprint.
All right. Okay. Podcast over. Bye, everyone. Bye.